Welcome to the New Zealand Secondary Schools Orienteering Champs, hosted by Marlborough Orienteering Club here at Bastion, which is near Blenheim at the top of the South Island. My name is Michael Croxford and I'm from Orienteering New Zealand. Today we've got athletes coming from all around the country, right from Fiordland College in the deep south up to Whangarei Boys High School in the north. We've got probably about 240 athletes competing in over 3 days at the long distance, the sprint distance which will be in town, and then the relay at the Witherfield Hills Farm Park. We've got a full range of competitors today, right from people who are novices and just starting out on the sport to those people who have just been coming back from both the Junior World Orienteering Champs and the European Youth Orienteering Champs. Anna Babington and the senior girls has just been competing in both of those competitions and is here today, along with Eddie Swain and Jacob Knopf. But we've also got plenty of members from the New Zealand Secondary Schools Orienteering team who have been selected to travel to Perth. We're fortunate enough today to have George Stafford from Ngāti Rārua to introduce to us the cultural and historical significance of the site that we're having the event at today.
Tākiri ārangi, tākiri ānuku, tākiri te awatia. Kia pū āwai ki te ao marama, te kāra āroto e. He whakamanawatia ki te tahau Māori, matariki hunganui, tihei matariki. I ngā mate, ngā aitua, haere te awaiki nui, hawaiki roa, hawaiki pamamao. Nō reira haere hare atu rā. Rātou kia rātou, tātou kia tātou, tihei mauri ora. Me te tuatahi nei, e mihi ana, e tika. Me te mihi ki te kingi Māori tūhei tia. E noho e runga, ki te tōrana tapu o tōna whaia te āteirangi kāhu. E mihi ana kia koutou katoa, nau mai, hara mai, ki te whenua o Ngāti Rārua, Ngāti Toa Rangatira, Rangitāne o Wairau. E ngā iwi, tēnā koutou, tēnā tātou katoa. E ngā mana, e ngā reo, e akurau rangatira mā. O ngā tauira, me te kura tuatoru, tuarua. Nō reira kei te mihi, nau mai, hara mai, whakatau mai rā i tēnei rohe o Wairau. Kia ora tātou, welcome to Wairau. Most of you will know this place as Marlborough, but for the Māori people that live here, we call it Wairau. We are Tainui people from the Waikato, we are Kurahopo people from the Wairarapa. If we look behind me, we have Te Pukahiwi, a spiritual place for the people that live here. In the 13th century, the Moa roamed the earth here. And as a result of that, more bones have been found not far from this site. Te Pukahiwi, or Kupe, is the shoulder of Kupe, a Māori navigator and explorer. A spiritual place because the people that are found buried here have DNA and radiocarbon dating back to the islands that we know as Hawaii. Over time, from the 13th century, other iwi have come to live here. And in 1820 or thereabouts, 2 Tainui people came to live in this land. There was conflict, and then we married into the local people that were already here, Rangitāne. For this space, we have certain landmarks that define us. Behind us, which the competitors will see as Tapuai o Uanuku, our tupuna maunga. Across from us, straight through there, is Tokomaru maunga, that Ngāti Toa and Ngāti Rārua have their connections to. The river that flows through the Wairau Valley is called the Wairau Awa. It is a significant awa that recharges the aquifers that lay beneath this valley and supply this community with its water source. The Wairau River is a river system that is called a braided river. It means one system but many rivers that make the flow of it happen. That is the definition of the word Waido, many rivers. If we look across the bay to as far as you can see before we hit the mountains, that is a little village called Rārangi. The translation of Rārangi is where the sun comes and meets the sky. And anyone that lives in the Waido certainly understands that when the sun rises in the east and comes upon us every morning. The people of Waido would like to welcome the students participating in the Orienteering event in the Waido Valley. You heard me speak about the navigator Kupe and the explorer. This is what the students are doing in the mountains of Waido in their orienteering of finding their way across the whenua. We wish them well with their endeavours, and we wish them a safe return home to their families, and I hope that they've enjoyed what the sun has to offer in Waido. We have a saying in Waido, kei puta te Waido, ka puta te Waido. The sun always shines on Waido. Nō reira, e te iwi. Tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā tātou katoa. Kia ora.
And with me today is Neil McGowan, who's the coach and manager for Mount Albert Grammar School. And Neil, you've been out there yourself this afternoon, but how did you find the courses out there, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think you can see from the terrain, it's not going to be the flattest course in the world. I think the chat we had with the kids before the start was the winner today will be the one who does the course management and contour management and tries to avoid going up as many hills as possible and trying not to get too tired too early and being able to execute the course in as simplistic way as possible.
So we've got a couple of key route choices here for between controls, and one of the first ones is between control 3 and 4 on the senior boys. So Neil, what your impressions of that particular leg?
Yeah, this is a fantastic leg. I think immediately you have to make a decision before you even leave the control. So option A has a lot of big hills early, but has a safety along the top of the ridge line and the simplicity of dropping into the control. Option B does the same, but cuts the corner off as you get to the control. C keeps the same contour height, but it actually takes you through some tricky green terrain, and it was pretty hard to run along the side of that contour because of how hilly it was. Running down along the side of a hill was pretty slow. Option D allows you to drop a little bit, but then forces you to hill climb as you come back into the control site and comes into the site at a significantly higher risk. I would probably choose A, get the climb out of the way to start, and then have the simplicity of running along the top across easier terrain and the simplicity to drop into the control site.
So this is the long distance that we've got today, Neil, but for those who are new to the sport, what do you think, what would you say to them to bring them into the sport so they know a bit more about it?
I think it's a perfect blend of athletic prowess and almost mental ability. And you see a lot of the kids that come to a tour are sort of sharp analytical types without much sort of running prowess. And then on the other end of the spectrum, you have those runners without too much analytical prowess. And just watching how the two sort of come together. Often say it's all about getting your brain round the course. So you can run fast and you'll make mistakes, but it's all about keeping your brain switched on and being able to navigate while running pretty quickly.
Yeah, so essentially it is about getting the fastest sort of light speed that you can, and making sure that you've got that concentration going at all times. So, but what about the map work and being able to read the maps and understand them a bit clearer?
Yeah, the maps are key. I mean, one of the great things about the sport is that there's an international symbol set that we ask all of the students to study and understand, and in being able to pick out features around the terrain. So often when we start with people, we just do a map walk and we walk them into all the different complex areas and we just pick up features and go, that's a hill, that's what a tree looks like, that's what this terrain looks like, that's what a contour looks like, and that's the different types of vegetation. And getting them used to how the sport works at a very, very slow pace early allows them just to build up with confidence over time so that they can start executing, simplifying the map as they're running along and effectively getting up to that sort of the higher, more complex courses.
It's probably a good segue into some of our better athletes who are out there. I mean, who were some of the good ones to look out there for today?
Well, I think Eddie Swain has been over in Europe, and he was coming back from from the European Youth Championships and was looking to win today. We've got Sam Carrier, who's been out there for the last couple of years, kind of sort of moving up through the ranks and showing his prowess. I think they had an excellent race in the senior boys. In the senior girls, we've had Anna Babington, who's just come back off an incredible performance over in Romania at the Junior World Championships, and she came back and, as expected, sort of put a 6-minute winning time into the lead on the course. So yeah, it was pretty cool to see those guys and the experience they've had in Europe coming back to the New Zealand shores.
And I think what's fantastic is that 5 of those top of those top 6 people, they're all Year 12 students, aren't they? So
Yeah.
they're back again next year, and competition will be quite fierce between them.
Yeah, absolutely. No, so I think all of the kids that have been over Junior World Championships have just performed magnificently on that international stage. So very good.
We're going to hear from some of our athletes shortly, but it's worth noting that although we're kind of a bit of a small sport sometimes, we're definitely growing. What are you seeing up there in your sort of like Auckland area, Neil?
Yeah, we're definitely seeing the numbers back. I think our recent school series had 120% higher than the year previous. We're seeing a major influx back into the sort of 25 to 35 age group, where people have moved away from the sport as they went to university, but are starting to sort of come back to it. And there's a bit of excitement happening. We're doing a lot of point series, we're doing a lot of sort of internet competitions and games, and getting sort of club nights back on, and it's starting to really sort of regenerate the sport quite significantly.
I was very happy with it. It's pretty clean, very, very hilly. So there was honestly more walking than there was running, but I felt very happy with my height control. So I usually, most of the time, I was sort of 5 meters within where I wanted to be height-wise, and I was very clean, hitting the controls smoothly, and I just had fun out there.
It was good. I found it very hilly, but I enjoyed I enjoyed the terrain, quite fast running in places, which was lovely. But yeah, still feeling a wee bit sore from jaywalk, but apart from that, it was really lovely.
So you've just come back from overseas, competing in Junior World Champs and also in European Youths. How was that experience?
It was amazing. Yeah, really valuable race experience for future that I really enjoyed, and lots of amazing people and amazing experiences.
Yeah, it was an interesting course. I found it fun trying to control my height at the start, and yeah, that was a bit of a challenge, so you had to focus a bit more than you did in the rest of the course. But I was certainly feeling the jet lag from returning from Europe a couple days ago, so really wasn't feeling my best, but I had to push hard in the end, and luckily to get on the podium.
And you just came back from Europe. You were at the European Youth Orienteering Champs there in Bulgaria, and you got to run in Italy. How was that for you, experience-wise?
Yeah, it was really good. We ran on some really cool maps in Italy, very, very technical maps that really challenged your navigation. So had to focus heaps there, and it was a great challenge.
The forest was quite simple. It didn't have too many features, so if you stayed on the right spurs and gullies, it was pretty good. It wasn't too bad.
And any particular part of the course that you thought was a bit more challenging in terms of route choice and stuff?
Maybe just on the back side of the hill at the start, there was more track and straight route choices.
It was a bit tricky in the forest, dropped too low a few times on the hills, but definitely sped up as I come out onto the farmland.
Excellent. And any particular part of the course that you really enjoyed?
It was pretty cool going around the cliffs.
Excellent. And you've been selected for the New Zealand Secondary Schools team for the first time, going over to Perth in Western Australia. Are you looking forward to that? And what do you think you'll enjoy with that experience?
Yeah, pretty pumped about that. I think it'll be tough running in the heat. I'm not the best at that, but no, I'm looking forward to it.
Very tough run, I would say. A lot of hills, a lot of rocks. Had to really gutsy run to just keep on running up those hills.
And did you have any particular problems or good bits within the race?
Had a few mistakes where I just went past the control and ended up having to run up extra hills, which wasn't ideal, but seemed to fix my problems quite quickly, so that was good.
Oh, well done. You're in the New Zealand Secondary Schools term to go to Perth. You're looking forward to that particular race?
Yes, very, very excited. Haven't been over with the team before, so it's very exciting.
So just to wind up, we would like to thank our sponsors for their support and for us to be able to host this event today. We'd also like to give a big shout out to our host club, to Marlborough Orienteering Club, and to the landowners who have allowed us permission to come onto their land today. We'd also like to just thank New Zealand Carbon Farming and to Caltex and to Bailey's for their Altogether Better prize.
First of all, an event like this is exactly what Bailey's love to get around. You know, we pride ourselves on being all together. You know, that's in the title where we are across the country, all together better. So to be able to sponsor an event with young kids outdoors working hard brings the community together. A lot of work goes in behind the scenes, and it's just a great day outdoors, and it looks like everyone had a great time. So no, it's been great to be sponsoring it. Yeah.